Hey bestie, so you've watched part one of Signs to Quit Your Job, but then you still need other reassurances. Don't worry. This is part two. Now, the first reason is that you will not recommend your job to anybody. And I saw this play out in my previous job, where previously, when you asked me where I worked, I would boldly say, well, because of the nature of the job, because it was a very sensitive job, I may not say exactly where I was working, but I'll boldly talk about my job. And if someone says, oh, I would love to actually be in that field, there is vacancy, I would direct them to the website to apply. But then it reached a point where people will be asking me, oh, I'm like, nah, don't worry. Where you are is better for you. Or even if the person is unemployed, I would rather see a loved one be unemployed than work in the company. Now, that's obviously signal to me that something is not right, because when you have loved ones, you may not necessarily want them to work with you, because that can be quite dicey. Some people don't care, some do. So there are instances where maybe you may not recommend your company because of maybe your personal reasons. Maybe you are a private person and you would rather not have family or friends working with you. Some people are like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when maybe ordinarily you don't really care, but because of how they are treating you, you're like, no, I can't imagine someone I love. Like, you even say, even my worst enemy, I can't imagine them working in the organization. Then of course, now you may not even tell these your loved ones what happened or what the issue is, but you don't want to recommend. That is a sign that it is time for you to wrap it up, because most times we tend to take some BS that will not allow our loved ones to take. For instance, there are times when maybe someone can insult you and you just let it go. But if they insult your mother or your father, are you joking? You would become a different person, because how dare you? Or even someone insult your siblings, how dare you? That is the same way in terms of jobs. There are some organizations you are in, you would not advise your sibling to be in that company, but you are there taking all forms of BS. So now when you now see a loved one, it may not even be a sibling, even a casual friend or even an acquaintance, you are like, abeg o, don't worry. That is a huge sign. And the second sign is that you have no work-life balance. You literally don't have a life. Your life is work, your work is life. That is so unhealthy. In fact, I have a theory that the way you will know a bad manager is that the person's work is their life and life is their work. If you've ever had a manager like that, put it in the comment section, because those are usually the worst managers. They literally have no life, and as such, if you have a life, it will be a problem for them. Like, they want you to be as miserable as them. Now, that manager that you are seeing, that you're like, you don't have a life, you will soon become that person, even worse, because you too, you don't have a life. If in your work you cannot even have compartmentalization, like after work, kiloku, what did that word?
After working kiloku, ìgbádùn lókù tá máa jẹ.
Why did that TikTok come to my mind? Anyway, after work, you cannot unwind. Now, there are days when maybe you may have had a difficult day at work and you just come back home and you are knackered, you just want to sleep. That's different. That does not necessarily mean it's a toxic job, because some jobs are quite demanding and they are not toxic. You can cope with the demands. That's different. I'm talking about the case where you have no life. Maybe before you used to make hair in weekends, but now your job is so toxic. Like, you know how I said in the first video, by the way, if you've not watched the first video, go and watch it after watching this one. In the first video, I talked about how our body keeps its score, how you can literally start falling sick because of a toxic job. In the same vein, it's when your job will drain you so much that you'll be drying up. Now, you can be drying up or be getting bigger, because it depends. Different people's bodies react to stress. Some people, when they are stressed, they start adding weight because they are eating comfort food just to quell the anger. While some other people, they start drying up, like they start looking very emaciated. Now, the point is, you'll be so drained from, let's say you work Mondays to Fridays. You'll be so drained Monday to Fridays that Saturdays and Sundays, you can't do anything. All you will do is to be sleeping. Like, you don't have a life. Even when you have annual leave, you can't do anything. All you can do is just to be sleeping. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when you can have annual leave just to rest at home. That is normal. In fact, I think that should be normalized a lot, because most people, especially international people, we always have annual leave only when we want to travel. You can actually have annual leave to just rest. That's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when maybe you won't have an annual leave to do something else, an extracurricular activity, and you are so stressed. You are literally recovering. It's not a good sign at all. And in short, in terms of jobs, especially for international students or people that are immigrants, let me just call it for what it is. See, you have to ensure that your work, you have a life outside it, especially people that want to get ILR. We glamorize ILR and citizenship so much so that we don't realize that when you become a citizen or you get ILR, what next? Like, what next? So you have to have plans for that period. And there is no way you would have plans for that period when in your mind you're always thinking, hey, what have I done at work today? Hey, tomorrow, what will happen? There's no mind space. Some of you want to have some businesses, you cannot have it because work in your mind. Some of you want to have hobbies. Let's not forget about business or monetization. You want to have hobbies, or you even want to spend more time with your loved ones. You cannot. Some of you have horrible work timetables. You go there very early, you get home very late. Constantly. When do you have time to have work-life balance? It is very important though. If not, you will burn out. And you will burn out in such a bad way that to recover. And when you burn out, it's not just going to be work, to affect your family, to affect every single thing you care about. And let me tell you, if anything happens to you, I will keep saying it. Your job will be advertised the next day. They don't wait. They don't even wait 1 week. They don't. I'm not saying this for you not to care about your job, because you should. I care about my job. I am a career person. However, I still know what is important in my life. And those things should not be substituted though. You're not special. You're special in your own mind though. But at work, try rubbish now. They go come out you, get someone else immediately. They don't wait. So you better take care of yourself. Now, if you're enjoying this video, I want you to give me a like. Now, the third point is work. They are setting you up to fail, and you will know this. When you are in a company and every day, wahala, I said that in the first video, but this time it's not just about wahala. The work they give you does not even make sense. They give you too much work, more than your capability. They know this. You will know that they are setting you up to fail. It happened in my previous company. Now, I may be referencing my previous company a lot because it is my most recent experience that I saw a lot of all these things happen, like OHA, life and direct. Instances where, for instance, I was doing assessment in a day. I would usually do like maybe 2 assessments. All of a sudden, being told no, from now onwards you have to be doing 4 assessments in a day, and that's not all. You are the only one doing assessment, but you will still have to do this, do that, do this, do that, do that, because you know that you can't. Even they can't, but they want to set you up to fail so that you'll be so frustrated. Sometimes you would be the one to just resign. A lot of these companies, they would rather you resign than they just sack you, because when it comes to sacking you, they are so conscious of employment laws. They can't just fire you. They have to give a tangible reason. So that's why even in my first video, I talked about the fact that when you're having lots of meetings, PIPs, in a lot of the meetings, they can even have bad documentation, lies. It has happened to me before. Things that did not happen, they will say it happened, because they are trying to cover their back so that when they want to fire you, you cannot sue them. Now, to quicken that process so that you will just resign, someone called it constructive dismissal. That's actually the legal term. They will do things that you will just resign yourself, because it will be impossible for you to meet up. They will set deadlines that you can't pass. Don't worry, you can't pass. You failed already, and it's because they are setting you up to fail. I had instance in my previous company where they knew that I'm a day person. I don't like I'm a day person. In fact, right now I'm recording in the morning because I do the important things earlier in the day. Once it reaches evening like this, I'm winding down. Guess what they did? Change my shift from day shift to night shift, knowing fully well that I will not be able to cope. That is a huge form of setting you up to fail. So that when you fail, it's not be like, you see, previously we noticed this and that. Now, if you've experienced this thing, let me know in the comment section. Let's talk about these things. Moving on to the fourth point. This one is even about you. You have mentally checked out. See, most times, Our minds are very powerful. Your mind, you don't check out. Like you are literally like a living dead. You are there like a zombie. You are literally there doing the work, but you've checked out. And you will see the signs of you checking out. For instance, if you were an activist, an advocate, someone that you speak up, you're always having opinions. All of a sudden, you don't even care. They change policies. You don't give a flying F. Like in your mind, do what you want to. I beg, make I just get my salary, go home. That's a sign that you've already checked out. Now, there's a difference between doing the barest minimum and totally mentally checking out, because there are people that in companies they actually do the barest minimum. It's not even about toxic or not toxic. Even if they are in the best places, they don't put their all in jobs. They call it acting your wage or acting your salary. They do the barest minimum and that's it. Now, that does not necessarily mean the job is toxic. That's now your personality. But then I'm talking about situations where you've mentally checked out. Most likely, you are the kind of person that used to carry things on your head. But now you've so mentally checked out that even when they do nonsense, you don't care. You that you'll be angry. You're not even angry. You are laughing. It's because, see, you don't check out already. It's just time to fully check out. Now, the fifth point, don't worry, I'm going to even give you a bonus. Don't worry. The fifth point is you are constantly complaining. Every Eke market day, you have one complaint or the other. Even when they resolve your complaint, you still have another complaint. Like you keep seeing problems everywhere because see, you are tired. You are tired. The same way you mentally checked out, you are complaining because it's either you are withdrawing or you are complaining incessantly. You keep complaining. And about this complaining, I need to tread a word of caution here. There are people at work that will keep complaining and they do nothing about it. You're not serious. True, you're not. Because when you are serious, you realize that you are not stuck. You're not a tree, you can move. There were times when, in fact, then one thing when I think about my toxic job experience, one thing I wish I had more were friends that actually called me out. Because imagine complaining that, see how badly I was treated. Then your friends are telling you, it's okay, it's well, it's well, it's well. Sometimes you need friends that will tell you, start applying for another job. And I love the fact that now I am that friend to a lot of people. There's someone I know going through the most in terms of her job. And I just told her, start applying for another job. And that method may not work for everyone because some people are victims, like perpetual victims. Woe is me. Life is bad. They do not take an active role in their lives. They are always passive. So even though they know that this job is horrible and they're treated badly, they won't move. They'll keep staying there. So when you are even telling them, apply for jobs, it's either they give excuses or they now see you as a problem. Like they want you to be cuddling them. And there's a place for empathy, but there's also a place for accountability. They go hand in hand. So you can tell your friend, if you have a friend or someone close to you going through these issues, you can tell her, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. You don't deserve to have gone through this. I'm so sorry. Now, can we start applying for jobs? It's not mutually exclusive. You cannot just be doing, I'm so sorry. Oh, hey, God will do it for you. Go and apply for a job, madam. Go and apply for a job. You say, there are no jobs, there are no jobs. People that are getting jobs every day, they are what? They have two heads. Let me talk like a parent. Do you have two heads more than you? You apply. They reject you, you apply. You keep applying to other ones. One will accept you. That's how it works. It's a numbers game. So if you're constantly complaining, it's time to wrap it up. And in my first video, I mentioned that wrapping it up doesn't necessarily mean you quit now. Because I won't feed you. It depends on your situation. But wrapping it up means, start being an active participant in your life. How would you make this work? How would you make the situation turn out for your good? And I'm done with my points. The bonus is actually one of the best points. The bonus point is you always envy people that have left the company. Mic drop. See, your envy is a sign of what you need or desire. Most times, you see this emotion called envy is a powerful emotion. If you are not careful, that envy can impact you in a negative way. But if you are smart and self-aware, you would realize that You are envious of what deep down you would love to have. If you can channel those feelings to profit you. Now, when someone leaves your company, maybe a company you are working in, the normal reaction for an average person is, sad to see you go, but I wish you the very best. Now, as you can see, of course, especially if this is the person that maybe you've shared a bond with at work, you would feel that sadness of, so I won't see you again. Especially because you know that you may never even see them again in life, true, true. But then there is this, I'm happy for you, Sha. Good luck. Oh. That's it. That is the normal reaction when someone is getting another job. But now, someone has gotten another job. You may even do this thing. Oh. So you may say, oh, sad to see you go, but happy for you. You may even write, hey, congratulations in maybe their leaving card. But deep down in your heart, you and I know that you are envious. You are envious. Now, that envy may not be you angry that this person got something better. No. But you're envious of, I wish this was me. I wish it was me. That's not normal. That's because it is time to wrap that job up. Your envy is a sign that you are dissatisfied. If you are happy in your job, someone leaving, I'm even shouting now because I want you to hear me very well. Move your glasses and hear me very well. I'm not even joking. If you are angry or envious or have negative emotion, it's because you are not happy genuinely. Because if you are happy, if you are secure in your job, highest is just that sadness of, I will miss you. But you will not be envious. You will not wish to be in their shoes. In the same vein, for some people, when your loved one or someone that you care about at work leaves, you are so happy. You are even happier than them because in your mind is like, thank God you've escaped. Are you in prison? Like your happiness may not even be envy, maybe extreme happiness of, hey, you've escaped. God, oh, when? Where will I escape to? That's a sign. Or maybe you have maladaptive daydreams of leaving a company. And that is when occasionally it happens to a lot of people in different respects. When maybe you are here right now and you're just imagining of, one day I will leave this company and I will not be in a better place. And I will not, that's called maladaptive daydreaming. You are having that because a part of you is not at peace with where you are and you are daydreaming of a better place. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when, even though your company is good, you will still love to have better. But that will not elicit that strong emotion of envy where you wish you were gone. It doesn't work that way. And me making this video about signs to know when it's time to quit is mainly because I'm not creating this career content just for you to get any job. No, you deserve peace. You deserve your well-being being maximized. You deserve that blessings that come from God that has no sorrow. You don't have to be having sorrow because you are making money. Things are not mutually exclusive. You can be in a job that is sane, that your mindset, that your brain, your soul, your spirit and body, they are all whole. And you still go home and have a life. And I wish that for every single bestie watching me. And I pray that if you're in a toxic situation, God gives you the grace to recognize it for what it is, the wisdom to get yourself out of that place, and the capacity to hold the blessings when they come because they will come. I say amen to all your heart desires, my loves. By the way, I hope my lipstick was not too distracting because I feel like it was scattering as I was talking. But anyway, I wish you the very best, my loves. If you have any questions or any comments, of course, I want to sit in the comment section. I've put up a playlist with similar videos like this. And until next time, my love, stay blessed, remain happy, and bye.